scrappy friends, I have a fun layout for you today that is part of the Clique Kits Pep Rally, and this is where the members and the design team get together and share what they have been making with their kits on social media, and we are going to be showing lots of stuff up on Instagram, so look out and make sure you check out all the links for the design team and the ladies who are also part of the kit club. So all you have to do is just be a member to get the kit and just sign up for it, and you get points if you go around and comment on everyone's layouts. So what you are seeing me use this is one of the specialty papers in the May Sorbet Kit, and it has this really cool resist. So I'm using some watered down acrylic paint, and then I sprayed a little bit of shimmers vibes on it. It's in gold, and it's kind of hard to see you see the gold, and it just, I think from here it doesn't look that bad, but it actually, I didn't care for the color, not with how the kit is right now. So I'm taking some papers and I cut them in different sizes, because my thought is that down at the bottom I want to layer some of those papers and some of these other squares, and just layer them down at the bottom and have them kind of overlapping each other, and then I want to go and sew on it so that they all pretty much stay. And I was thinking maybe I can, do some other cool aspects to just so that you see all the different layers and you get all this texture. And at this point I'm thinking I really probably want to cut this down just a smidge and have a white border. I was trying to think of ways that I could add some dimension and some texture to this layout, just to kind of add what I'm going to do down at the bottom. So, but I had a really hard time because my paper is all warped because I used water on it. So yeah, that was nice and fun. And then I decided, hey, why don't I take some of this gorgeous tissue paper that we get with our kit and cut it into a square and have just a little bit showing. So I'm just going to use some ATG tape. I use quite a bit because I don't want it coming back up. And then I just kind of cut around the edges so that it pretty much meets the ends, but not all the way. So I want it just to be peeking through, so you just see a little bit of that black and white. I thought it would just make it look really nice and snazzy. Nice and just fun, right? So you get a little bit of texture, but it's not super bulky because it's tissue paper. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to stick these papers and how far up I want to do this layer. But then I decide, no, I really want this to pretty much be like down here at the bottom, like almost all the way down to the bottom. So I'm just gonna kind of layer these, and there's no rhyme or reason really to the layering because I know I'm gonna be adding those other well, they're not really all squares, they're kind of just like different square-like shapes. And I only use a little bit of glue since I know I want to be doing some stitching with my sewing machine. And I had some mint tealish color thread already in my sewing machine, so it's going to work out perfect. So right now I don't mind where this is going. But in a minute you will see something that I do that I thought would help, and then I just don't like it. And I'm keeping this in because I really do think that seeing the evolution of how a layout starts out and where it ends up can be way different, and it's just kind of fun to me. So I will say I'm not really sure how I feel at this point while I'm making it, the colors, because the purple is really bright and I thought that it would work well with that minty green, and it does. If you look at it from here, it doesn't look that bad, but it's where I added the shimmers spray because it was gold and that's a cream color. I just don't care for that. So that's part of what my thought is thinking. So here I just got done stitching. You can see I stitched all the way around the whole thing, and then I did a stitch all the way through the bottom. Now at this point I don't realize that I don't care for it too much. I'm kind of thinking more about that bottom row, but then I'm like, well, maybe if I add a little gesso, I can tone it down. And this is where it goes wrong. So I just take a paintbrush because I want the lines. And I'm like, wait, how much of this do I want to cover up? And of course I get some of the gesso on that pattern, which is fine, and I don't mind that part. It's just I really don't like it. At this point, I'm like not really sure how I feel about it, but I'm gonna stick down these two pieces, this heart that says today and then a flower that says dream, and I put them on pop adhesive, and then I'm gonna cut out some other squares that I'm thinking that I might use, and then I'm gonna start building some layers behind my photo. I'm sorry that you can't really see a whole lot of this because for whatever reason I just keep forgetting that I can't go all the way down to the edge of my desk. And I'm trying to pick places where you'll see a little bit of the colors to help bring out those colors down at the bottom, but not be too crazy. So this is where I'm thinking I'm not really sure how I feel about this whole background. And like I said, I think if I had left the gesso off, it would have worked better. I could have made it work. I could have just not added all that blue paper or something. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out which of these cut pieces from the one page that had more cut aparts on it and different phrases. And it's not working because that pink and it's almost a coral pink, and that yellow with the white, it just does not go with the purple really. It just doesn't really. Even though they're similar colors, I mean, you can see that that gesso has that creamy color, but I'm not sure. So I just keep trying to work. And this is what I do. When I'm not sure, I just keep moving things around and I keep working, and I try to find something else to do to distract me from how I feel about the layout, because sometimes you got to work through that and you just got to find a way. So at this point I'm like, no, I really don't think I like this. So I already did all the stitching and I really like that aspect. So I'm gonna try to save this. So I'm taking just a piece of cardstock and I'm gonna layer over top of all the mixed media that I did. So all that time that I spent getting it really cool, you know, that purple looked really cool with the resist. And I'm really sad that I couldn't use that paper, but I was not wanting to cut it up because I was afraid that I'd mess up that bottom, and I really like the bottom. And in the end, I really like how this turned out. It turned out way different than I guess what I had thought maybe going into it. But yeah, the struggles of making the you know, sometimes this is just how it is, right? Um and so now I'm just gonna build. I decided that I was gonna try to cover up that top purple spot because it just doesn't, it seems out of place if I leave it there. So I'm gonna add some more of this layering with these pieces, which is really simple. I mean, I had a problem with the fact that I only had a little bit left of that teal or that minty color paper. So that middle spot in between the two bigger ones I really don't like, and I'm gonna fool around with those in a minute to just kind of find something that works a little bit better so it doesn't look so awkward, because right now it looks really weird to me. So here I'm just kind of, I bring in this element and I am going to keep that, and I'm going to fool around with it until I get it where I like it and where I think it doesn't look so bad. So I do kind of move some stuff around a little bit. And then I add that blue piece, and I really like it. So now I'm going to start gluing, like taping things down a little bit more, and I add that card because I knew I wanted a place to have journaling, and I could have just did it right on the layout, especially since I don't have any mixed media on that back part now. And I am kind of sad that purple doesn't come out. But I decide, okay, well, I still want some of that, the purpley color, just a little bit. So I'm going to take this Shimmers spray, and I think that's in Razzleberry, Razzle Dazzleberry or something like that. And so I just do a few little splicks because I don't want to overdo it. And this one has like a shimmer to it, so when it dries, it definitely doesn't dry as pink as it comes out. It definitely looks more purpley. So now I'm taking some of the hearts from, well, you'll see it in a minute. So I took some of the hearts from the exclusive cut apart, or not the cut apart, the cut file has houses and they have hearts. And so I had quite a few of them saved. So I'm going to use some of those, and I'm going to just layer them around. And then I also take some of those cut apart printables that are part of the kit. So make sure that if you guys haven't printed them out or like uploaded them, go in the store and look for them because they're really, really fun elements to add. I've used so many of them this month. And they go so well because the designers know what kits, they're making them just so that they go with the kit. And they're super cute, and they just add something, a little bit something different. And you can print them. I do it on a little bit of like an everyday paper, so it's a little bit thicker than regular printer paper, but it's not as thick as like cardstock, so it's a good nice in between. But you could definitely even just print everything on cardstock, and that would work too. I mean, it just makes for super fun. So I'm going to add that She's Crafty flare that was in the kit, and a heart from the die cut pack. And I'm just adding a few little things here and there to both sides, or both the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to add this little tab with my little tiny attacher because that's like my favorite tool right now. It's so my favorite tool. And then I pull out some of the puffy stickers. And I wanted to use a lot more, and I only ended up using a couple. I still have quite a few of these left. They're like one of my favorite things. I think that's why I haven't used them. But I do use that camera. He's gonna move. Nope. There we go. That looks good. Just this perfect little cluster. And then I decided, this dream would look really cool over top of the other dream. So it says, make your dreams happen today. And I'm going to put that mirror piece from Pink Fresh Studios that is an add-on. And it just says dream. So it's going to say, make your dream happen today. And my journaling is all about that photo, which basically I'm just going to talk about how I worked really hard to get better at my scrapbooking because I really enjoy it, and I really love sharing, and I really love being part of this community, and how I've worked really hard this past year to get better so that I can be a part of a design team, and how thankful I am to be a part of the Clique Kits design team. And I wanted to journal about part of my journey because I really have, like I said, worked really hard to just kind of change to be better for myself. So anyway, I think it's just kind of fun sometimes to have layouts about ourselves, and things that we are doing for us so our kids can see that we have goals too. So here are all the close-ups. I absolutely love how this turned out, even though it turned out absolutely nothing like I was thinking it was going to. But don't forget to go on social media and use the hashtag for Clique Kits. They'll be in the description box below, and you can watch and see everyone else's stuff. Bye!